Over the last few years, on multiple occasions, I have prioritized playing the YouTube algorithm game over supporting and fostering the community that I already had. I've sought views and subscribers and growth and attention over recognizing the amazing, wonderful, supportive fans that I've had that have communicated to me and time again that they were upset with the direction my channel was going. On top of that, I built a unsteady tower and then knocked it over myself by releasing a aggressively hyperbolic and critical review of a prominent game on top of a Kickstarter campaign. I shouldn't have done that. It was the wrong thing to do, and if I'd been of clearer mind or had more insight, I would take it back. I spent the last 4.5 months thinking and reflecting and doing my very best to diagnose and figure out what the right thing is for me to do. When it comes to this channel, when it comes to moving forward and creating content and being a YouTuber and being a board gamer, and I'm still solving these problems. I'm still figuring these things out. But I think part of the healing process for myself and for the audience that I have is analysis and apology. I'm doing a series of videos that go through this whole process. A mental health update, a conversation about the Reddit thread, about how I'm growing personally. There's a lot of videos. They're all linked down below. But this video is probably one of, if not the most important, and also potentially the most dangerous, and also in some ways the hardest to film. I started it off with some form of apology because the last video I posted on this topic or on this subject, everyone said I took way too long to get to the point. So I was trying to lead it off with the point. I don't know how to communicate or talk with 5,000 different people. With all the subscribers we lost and all the fans we hurt and all the people that felt manipulated and betrayed and have been telling us time and time again that we were going down the wrong path. At Gen Con, it really hit me. I had a fan come up to me and pull me to the side and he said, "Hey, I used to really like your content. I used to be a big fan. But I recently unsubscribed because I couldn't support someone who was doing what you were doing." And then he said he realized he'd never heard my side of the story. Because that's not his job. It's not my audience's job to double check the facts and look into the rumors and see who's lying and see who's manipulating. And it's not their job to find out if I'm telling the truth. If I've built something in a way that makes them immediately think that there's a potential that I'm not telling the truth, that I'm lying or being manipulative or being any of these things I'm being accused of, then I've already taken a misstep. So he came over and he said, "I never went to find your side of the story." So he wanted to ask me. And I talked with him for a bit, and I don't know if he resubscribed or not. I didn't get the feeling that he did by the end of the conversation. But I did walk away with a really salient and important piece of knowledge. Everyone on the other side of the screen is really just that one guy. You carry your own burdens, you have your own thoughts, you have some degree of knowledge, information, and I created an atmosphere where I put him in a position where it was easier and more likely to believe that I had done what I was being accused of than it was to believe that I was a good guy. So he unsubscribed. And 5,500 other people unsubscribed. And a lot of that comes down to me. I think the most salient moment was a vlog a few years back. We just started vlogging. We were experimenting with titles. We were trying to figure out how to do the YouTube thing. And vlogs, historically, in the board game space, haven't really been received that well. And so we were messing with titles. Adventure here, The Truth About Sam Healy there. And I posted one called She Left Me. It was the first time in my entire channel's history we'd lost, like 100 subscribers. And there was a lot of people frustrated and a lot of people hurt. And I justified it by saying, like, hey, we got 15,000 views. We never would have got that, on a vlog. I showed you the truth in the first 5 seconds of the video. It was a joke, But I should have been more mindful and attentive and listened to my audience more. That was the first tick in the dial of building a community of people, a frustrated, betrayed community of people that were ready to jump and scream and shout and be angry the moment something came up, something sniffed sour to them. That thumbnail and that title was manipulative, and it was emotionally deceitful. It wasn't my intention when I posted the video. And intentions matter to some degree, but your response to them also matter. I didn't respond the best. I laughed it off, brushed it aside. I blamed the algorithm. I said, it's just the game we have to play. It's what YouTube is. And so we kept pushing that button. Kept seeking views and audience. And we tried to walk the line. But we definitely stepped on toes here and there. And we were happy to do so. And we kept justifying it by saying we were growing the space, we were growing the channel, we were building the board game community, we were trying to stretch out of the constrained box that our limited and niche market is, and I was completely blind to the fact that there was nothing other than that. Our hobby is this limited niche community of people. If I lose them, if I betray them, if I trick them, I've lost what is the heartbeat of our community, what is the nature of our channel, what is everything. And yeah, there is a conversation to be had between good thumbnails and good titles and grabbing the attention of the audience, and then there is a conversation to be had about acknowledging mistakes and overstepping the line on clickbait. And a title like She Left Me doesn't work. It's not funny. And it makes the people who care about you the most, makes them click. And when they find that it's a joke, they feel like they've been the punchline. They got laughed at. And I wasn't trying to laugh at anyone. I was trying to get views. Would have been better if I hadn't. There's going to be a lot of people that are commenting or saying, now that he got caught, now that he suffered a punishment, now he's apologizing. But that's 2.5 years old. It hasn't left my mind. I still think about it. I still ruminate on it. I still am trying to figure out how to do better and how to grow and how to do right. And yeah, I did suffer the consequences. I've lost the dream of what Quackalope could have been this year. I've lost team members. We lost a year and a half worth of growth. So yeah, I'm apologizing. Because we made a mistake. It's 4.5 months since the blowout with ATO and with the confirmation bias series and with the accusations of blackmail and manipulation. We didn't blackmail anyone. I'm not apologizing for the wide array of things that I've been accused of. I'm not abusive. I'm not manipulative. I'm not a bad friend. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm not a narcissist. I do love board games. And I'm not here just to be famous. Or to shill and grift and gain money and wealth. Everything that we've got over the last 5 years, I've poured back into the channel, into growth, and in trying to give and build and support the community that we had, while at the same time blatantly ignoring and stumbling face first into a wall that I created for myself. I thought that supporting the community and investing in the community was equivalent to getting views and subscribers, and somehow things got unbalanced. But I'm not making this video in an attempt to save or salvage everything we've lost. In fact, I think having this conversation and the other series of conversations we're having this week will result in more damage to the channel. But I am hoping, to the gentleman that pulled me aside at Gen Con, and to the other audience members who have been hurt and felt betrayed and felt tricked and manipulated over the past few years, whether you were there for the She Left Me video or you showed up just in time to watch me stumble face first into ATO, the worst game I've ever played. We'll talk about that in a second. At whatever stage you join this community, I am making this video in a hope and an attempt to pave a pathway forward. I would rather have 3,000 insane, dedicated, incredible fans than 100,000 who think that I'm just a paid-for shill, a manipulative, abusive, diabolical narcissist. So, I didn't listen to you when you unsubscribed. I didn't listen to you when you told me that some of the videos and some of the titles that I had posted felt manipulative and felt like a betrayal. I didn't listen to you when you told me that you were my friend and that you cared and you supported the channel. And I've listened to you now. I've heard it loud and clear. I never should have posted such a hyperbolic and critical review on top of an active Kickstarter campaign. That was unfair to ATO, it was unfair to the audience, and it was absolutely a style of video designed to get views and designed to get a response, a reaction, over just providing good quality, genuine content. The title of the video, the thumbnail of the video were clickbait. They were hyperbolic. The content of the video should have been merged with the positive one. It should have been a single review if I was going to do a review at all, and we'll get to that because I shouldn't have even done a review. The context there, for those of you that care and are watching, is that we scheduled a series of videos, gameplay videos leading up to a review, and a few more that we never ended up posting. before I even knew that there was an active campaign approaching. And by the time the video series was going live, I had been in Israel for 4 weeks. And I thought about the risk of posting the critical review, but I didn't think about it in context to the Kickstarter campaign and what that might mean for the publisher. I should have been more mindful. I should have been more careful. And I certainly shouldn't have done a series designed at garnering and gaining attention. I built the house of bricks I was living in. So, it's my fault they got pushed over. I think the phrase is about the house of glass. Either way. On top of that, I had no business making a review in the first place. And I knew this. I saw that. I knew the risk there. Every video of Aeon's Trespass Odyssey that was filmed before that review video, including that 2-part review video, that confirmation bias series, every video had an acknowledgement that I had reached out to the publisher. I knew that it was risky. By the time we filmed those videos, we had not heard back from the publisher. And we eventually decided to not work with the publisher. But it doesn't change the fact that since that conversation had happened, I shouldn't have been posting my opinion and my thoughts, especially on top of the campaign that was going on. Gameplay videos, sure. Maybe a merged review, possibly. But even then, it was inappropriate. It was the wrong thing to do. I think in our history, it's the first time something like that has happened. But man, it set us up. It loaded all the ammunition necessary to take down the channel. And I had built the tower. I had already created instability. I had already garnered an audience of people that felt like I was the king of clickbait. That all I was doing was here for the love of YouTube. And I didn't care about board games. I didn't care about the community. I didn't care about anything else. I should have been more mindful. I should have been more careful. And I should have been more respectful into the unknown and to the audience and the community that I have. I'm sorry that over the years I have created and put you in a position where you couldn't trust me. Shouldn't have happened. I feel like there's things that are left unsaid. And there's certainly a more nuanced conversation here, but it's one-sided and there's no one responding. And I'm sure I've made other mistakes. I didn't do what the wider world has accused me of doing. I didn't blackmail anyone. But I did ignore. And I did trick. And I did seek out viewership and seek out growth. And I did post a aggressively one-sided review on top of a campaign. And I did reach out to a publisher trying to work with them. And then go on to film a critical review. It wasn't retaliation. It wasn't a response. Again, we filmed all that content before we ever heard from the publisher. But it shouldn't have happened. So, for those of you who don't know, there's a whole series of videos going up this week There's a mental health update. There's me reading through and the entire Reddit thread. I'm doing that at the end of this video series. There's a conversation about why I can be grateful that I lost 5,500 subscribers. And there's a conversation about money in the board game industry. Those are all linked down below. If you want to go check them out, please do. They'll be published over the next few days so that they don't crowd the YouTubes, so that I can have a conversation with as many people as possible. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. For those of you that support and care, thanks. I hope that at the end of this, I can continue making good content for you. Continue growing the community and continuing being part of this industry that, I've been in love with for the past 5 years.